Hey, what's going on, folks? How we doing tonight? I know it's a little late for everything, and it's 11:10 p.m. But anyway, we're gonna talk some hockey tonight on Ice Talk. That wasn't the original intro, but sometimes stuff happens. And here we go. We're gonna talk Detroit a little bit because we got a special guest for that. Our main purpose of the night, though, will be the Blackhawks, as you saw from the goal of the decade. We'll see if that still stands in the Chicago minds. But let's bring in our guest. Let's do this. We'll bring them in and let them introduce themselves, and we'll go from there. Is that your guys' intro?
Liking it, digging it.
I'll take it.
So what's going on, guys? How we doing?
Good. How are you?
It's hockey season.
Right around the corner. Training camp's getting ready to start here soon, right?
Ready to rock and roll.
Absolutely.
So Zach is the Detroit guy, and Adam is the Blackhawks guy. And
Yes,
you
sir.
guys are what station again?
We're with IE Sports Radio. We do the Neutral Zone on Tuesday nights.
And tonight's Tuesday. That's why we're off to a late start. So how did the show go for you guys over there?
Good. We got lots of news tonight. Lots of retirements.
Yeah, my goal is to play full time in NHL this season. I feel like
Someone's got YouTube on.
Like mine last year was like everything new, like new team, everything, and now I know like so many people.
Well, I think it's my computer. Hold on just a second.
I had all this stuff already. I know so many guys here, and now I feel like more comfortable to be here. But
There we go. Sorry about that. It was a video deciding to play in the background there. At least it was hockey related, right?
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I was curious to start listening. I was like, oh, wait, all right.
Wait a minute! It's all Blackhawks stuff. Getting ready for
Right.
training camp.
Why
Getting
not?
all the
Let's do it.
prospects. Getting all the prospect lists. So yeah, suddenly it turned into a very heavy news day. Originally, we were going to be talking Metropolitan Division. Then all of a sudden, everybody and their brothers either signing contracts or retiring or both, or all kinds of craziness going on today. So.
Yeah.
So you guys had big news up there.
Chara, Nathan McKinnon with the huge contract.
8 years. I saw
Chara
that.
retiring. Yep.
Highest
PK
player-
Subban
highest-
retiring.
Highest paid player in the league, of course. Yeah. I saw that this morning. That was crazy. It said Nate for 8 or whatever it was. That was like the big caption.
Oh, smart.
I loved his quote of, I wasn't really concerned with being the highest paid player ever in the history of the salary cap, as his contract is $100,000 higher than the next highest one. I was like, oh, sure, that was just a coincidence. Sure.
I guess this would be like off topic a little bit, but like you look at Sidney Crosby and Gino, they go on the friendly contracts to try and win more. Why? Do you feel he's being greedy, or do you feel it's a family issue like Le'Veon Bell? I got to make enough to feed my family.
Dude's 27, and he's arguably one of the top 5 players in the game. That's how it works. It's not necessary we see that. Okay, so fair warning. On Neutral Zone, Zach and I are known for spinning off into tangents and using other sports to kind of be a guide as we talk hockey.
So I just fit in with that, going with Le'Veon Bell saying
exactly.
He wanted to feed his family.
Oh,
exactly.
And on top of that, right here, speaking of Le'Veon,
Michigan State. I thought you were gonna have like a "Mama knocks you out" shirt on.
But like we see it all the time in the NFL, whereas if you're in that conversation of one of the top 5 of your position, then when it's time for you to get paid, you become the highest paid at your position. Whether you're the best or not is irrelevant. It's simply you get the highest dollar amount, because then the guy after you will get the highest dollar amount, and everybody feeds off of that. I think some of that happened here with McKinnon, where it's, hey, he's in the conversation of one of the top 5 players in the league right now. They just won the cup. So, yeah, go get the highest contract. And when the guy coming after you winds up getting a little, that'll help the guy behind you get a little bit more, and so on and so forth down the line. So that's where I think he's coming from with getting the most money. It's just how the system works for the players anyway.
I mean, I guess we could start talking
I love what you
a little
said.
bit of Colorado, but we can't. We shouldn't, but we could, because like Chicago, the Avalanche are probably going to be in that talk of the top final 2, final 3 this year again, even though they lost Nazir, Natty, whatever his name is.
They lost Kadri. Oh yeah, they'll.
Oh, Nazem Kadri,
that guy. But is one guy really gonna kill that?
I mean, they still got the rest of their core. They got Landeskog, they got McKinnon, they got Lehkonen, they got Comper for another year, I think. So, I think they'll be all right.
I think they're gonna be all right too. I saw we lost a pretty big defenseman today too. Retired.
Well, I think one last note on McKinnon. Like, I think what you were saying, Adam, is right. Like, hey, okay, so what's Connor McDavid making again? Okay, can I get 100,000 more?
Yeah, exactly. Just put a cherry on top of his deal, and I'll take it.
Right.
Well, he said in the article too. He's like, well, as long as we don't face any more pandemics or any more shutdowns or anything, and the salary cap should be going up every single year. So, yeah, he's like, fingers crossed, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Gina said hi, guys.
Oh,
Hi,
hey,
Gina.
Gina, they wanted you to pop on. Gina, they wanted you to pop on if you wanted to pop on. Talk some
Sharks. Hop on in.
Anyway, but back to you were saying, Zach.
But yeah, in the article he was saying, he's like, as long as there's no more pandemics and shutdowns and everything, we should be fine. The salary cap should keep going up every year. So, it makes sense to have a big deal like this. And I think Adam's right. I mean, he's paid his dues. He's done his job better than a lot of the players there, and he deserves to get paid.
He was a bargain for the last 7 years.
Yeah, he wasn't the highest paid player in the league like he is now.
Yeah,
anytime you get a star player under a good value amount, which I don't even know where that states anymore, because I mean, you look at football and that's off the wall.
Oh yeah, in football the numbers are just made up, and they move with it from there, because that salary cap does nothing but go up every year. Hockey's a little different.
Right. Then you look at baseball, no cap at all. So I mean, baseball, that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, something that can contribute to that too, like I was just talking on our show tonight, they're introducing jersey patches this year. So they already had the helmet patch going on for the last year, maybe 2, and now they're going to introduce the jersey patch this year, and that's going to increase the revenues even more.
That's the advertisement part, right?
Yeah. So it's gonna. I think the biggest one I can remember was the Capitals are going to be sponsored by Caesars. So Caesars Sportsbook will be like right on their. It's like a 3 by 3.5 inch, I think, patch on their. What is that? Their right shoulder, their right chest.
See, I would want that like out of view, kind of like up here or down here.
They were debating that. They said they weren't sure like what was going to get the most coverage on the sports networks. They compared it to the basketball ones, like you'll see like Rakuten on the Warriors jerseys. And they were like, well, obviously that has to be on the front of the basketball players' jerseys. But, for hockey, it could, it's up in the air whether, you get the most, visual.
You get the most views back here.
Yeah, whether you get the most views on the back or on their shoulder or on their chest or what. So it's kind of this year will be the guinea pig for that, I guess.
Because think like taking a face off, how you're hunched over.
Oh yeah,
the overhand cam would show your advertisement right there on the face off.
Yeah, true.
I think that would be a wise move, but I'm not in that form of business, I guess, as they would say. But I mean, that would be a wise for centers anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And for goalies too, because they're always hunched over.
Yeah, they said it might be a slippery slope comparing it to like NASCAR.
I mean, that's the first thing that came to my head.
Well, they said, but if you look at the ice is tastefully done. If you look at our boards, the boards are tastefully done, and now the jerseys are going to be tastefully done.
Like, I'll give them credit. They started doing the helmets last year. I was nervous how that was going to look. They did the helmets right. The helmets were done really well, where it was, okay, yes, there's obviously some kind of sponsor logo there, but it wasn't the helmet. It still looked like a hockey helmet. Your eye could miss it if it wanted to. It was done very well on the helmet. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but they'll figure out how to make it work on the jersey. The practice jerseys already have them, so.
Yeah. They referenced the practice jerseys. They referenced ECHL, a bunch of the lower level leagues, plus the European leagues having them.
Oh, yeah. You look at any European league, my gosh, their jersey is nothing but advertising stickers just all sewn together. That's what the sweater is. In the Swedish leagues, that's just what the sweaters are.
Well, they said they didn't want to be the first league to put logos on their jerseys, and sure enough, they weren't. The NBA was the first ones to do that.
It's a good marketing scheme too.
But then in terms of the helmets,
it's a good marketing scheme because everyone's going to have to get new jerseys now with the advertisements on them.
I'm not putting out another $300.
In terms of, in terms of the fans, like the only place they're going to have them, the actual logo, like for the jersey that we would buy as fans, would be like at the stadiums, I guess. But if you're buying it through the normal website, they won't have the actual logo on there.
I didn't know that. See, that just sounds like bad marketing because then you don't know what year your jersey really is from. If you're a collector, if you're an avid collector, but if you're an avid collector, you're going to buy one right from the, the store in the stadium, in the arena or whatever, because you want to have that patch so you can be up to date. But then the only question is, what jersey do you put it on?
And Adam, to your point about the helmets, I've noticed that too with their logos on there, and I've said to myself, let's tying it back into Nathan McKinnon and the Avalanche. Anytime the sponsor on the helmet matches the sponsor of the stadium too, I'm like, man, double bonus.
Right? Yes.
Like the Avalanche, it's Ball, like the canning company on their helmet, and it's Ball Arena, and Pittsburgh Paints, it's PPG is their sponsor, plus the arena's PPG, and I'm like, oh man, I just love having that unified like brand identity.
Right?
Makes it easier.
So Adam, I'm going to get back to topic a little bit. I read an article on the Chicago Sun.
Zach, we're so good, we get other people's shows off topic just like our own.
I'm probably going to get off topic again. But the Chicago Sun-Times said, what would it take for the Blackhawks to be the worst team?
To be the worst team this season?
What it says. What will it take for the Blackhawks to be the worst team? That was their headline.
I mean, was that Ben Pope that wrote that, by the way?
I think they were just playing for the 1, 2, or 3 pick next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're doing is what it's going to take for them to be the worst team. I mean, that's what they're trying to do this season. They are in full teardown mode. Artemi Panarin gone, and they got nothing for him in that trade. I was so disappointed in that trade. What a way to start the offseason when they traded Panarin and got nothing but picks. Got absolutely nothing but picks back.
That's funny. Another site said that DeBrincat's
I'm sorry, DeBrincat, not Panarin. I'm sorry, DeBrincat. I'm getting my guys mixed up. Panarin was a few years ago. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, the cat. I'm sorry, you're right, Alex DeBrincat. I'm sorry, but yeah. When DeBrincat got traded, they got nothing but picks basically back for him. It was such a downer way to start the off season. And it made it so obvious that, okay, what they're trying to do is just completely tear this thing down to the screws and start all over. In some ways, it's going to be good for the franchise because of the way the last few seasons have gone, and especially the way their last couple off seasons have gone with all the off ice problems that have been going on with the franchise. To kind of do a reset and restart on there is in some ways good, but it's still really hard and really disappointing to sit through and go through. So, what's it going to take for them to be one of the bottom teams in the league? They're going to be one of the bottom teams in the league. About the only other thing they could do at this point would be to trade Patrick Kane.
You guys had the other trade too, the Dak trade. I know you got 3 picks back for that one.
Yeah, Kirby Doc. Yep.
Now, are you excited about Nazir?
We'll see.
There's a couple people I read while I was doing my research on you guys that said that he's going to be a really good pick.
Yeah, we're talking Frank Nazar, the centerman.
Yeah, Nazar. Yeah,
it's
Nazar, ain't it? Ain't it Nazar?
I believe. Yeah, I believe it's pronounced Nazar. I believe.
I'm good at butchering names.
We teach a master class in Neutral Zone on how to butcher Russian. He's built a lot like Patrick Kane. He's on the smaller side. He's under 6 foot. He's 180 pounds soaking wet. He's not a big guy. He's a skater. What you're hoping to get is, you're hoping to catch lightning in a bottle and maybe get somebody like one of the names I'm seeing reference is Braden Point, or you'd love to catch lightning in a bottle and get a Patrick Kane again. You're going to have to see what he can do. He's certainly there's raw talent there. I mean, he went 13th overall. He's raw, but you give him some time to develop. The nice thing is, because of where they are at in their process, you can go one of two ways with them. You can say, let's treat this like we did with Kane and Taves and with Doc, and just get him up to the NHL as fast as possible and let him go through his growing pains with the big boy club while there's nothing expected of us. Or you can go the other route of, hey, there's nothing expected of us. Let's not put any pressure on the kid. Let's let him grow. Let's let him mature. Let's let him go through some of his growing pains here for a few years in Rockford in the minor leagues, and then we can bring him up. You can go either way with him to get started.
Okay. Now the Davidson plan they call it, right? The the Davidson plan. His objective was speed and compete. Okay. So what I was thinking, like when I was reading up on some of my questions and stuff, I was thinking of ice hockey, where you don't have the big fat guy, but you guys went all really tall defensemen. Mm-hmm. That was kind of like his thing. And then small and fast centermen and wingmen. So I was thinking like the small skinny guy on ice hockey, then the big guys on defense. So that's the way I was thinking about it. But it seems like they're doing all that now. So is that kind of like the plan?
It would seem like it right now. I mean, you got to figure Davidson's learning on the job here too. I mean, he got thrust into this in the middle of last season, and he's adjusting on the fly too. So But that does seem to be at least the early starts of the plan is speed on off. I mean, and you look at it when the Hawks were in their heyday, 09 through 15, when they had their, if you want to call it a dynasty or mini dynasty, whatever you want to refer to that stretch from 9 to 15, that was a lot of what they had. You had a lot of speed on offense, and then there wasn't a huge priority placed on goalie. It was more so on having really strong defenders in front of the goalie. And it looks like maybe they're trying to recreate that a little bit. I would say you don't underemphasize goalie. Don't take the goalie position for granted. And they won a cup with now I'm blanking on his name. Gina, if you're still there, the Sharks goalie.
Crawford.
No, Crawford was the guy that they ultimately got to and realized, hey, we've got something here with Crawford. We should actually use him and keep him. Antti Niemi is the other name coming to my head that they had for the 2010 Cup. But at first it was with him, it was, we don't need to emphasize goalie. So long as we're really strong defensively, we'll be fine. But it would be good to put emphasis on the goalie, to not lose credit for the guys in between the pipes too. And it is nice to see that one of the top guys in their prospect list is one of their goalies, Arvid Soderblom. Hopefully that's somebody that can jump in there. But yeah, as for what they're kind of looking like right now, it is looking like speed on offense and then taller guys on defense to try to help out the goalie a little bit. And that makes sense. It's a recipe the Blackhawks have used previously to success. And you look at it's being used by other teams in the NHL right now. You look at teams like the Hurricanes. They are insanely fast. Their version of defense is we're just going to play more offense. That's how they play defense in Carolina. It's just possess the puck more. Edmonton, again, their version of playing defense is we're just going to outscore you and dare you to keep up. So you're seeing numbers. A lot. Yeah. So that's kind of how you're seeing.
That's a hell of a goal to keep up with those high scoring teams.
Exactly. Yeah.
Edmonton and their video game numbers, and Adam's favorite Carolina player is.
Yeah, I don't think he's there in Carolina anymore. I think he signed elsewhere. But Nino Niederreiter is my favorite hockey name ever.
Niederreiter?
Niederreiter.
Wait, he went somewhere. I wrote his name down.
Yeah, he went somewhere this offseason. Yeah, he's no longer in Carolina.
Oh, dang.
All right, so Colton Dack. Any update on him? He got a concussion in the prospect game.
Yeah, I want to refresh myself. He's, if I'm remembering correctly, he is going to be out for a while. I'm looking it up right now as we talk. If this is the player I'm thinking of off the top of my head,
we got a concussion in the prospect game.
Yeah, and he's gonna be down for a while. Lucas Reichel also got injured as well, but he seems to be doing okay. He's
I don't have anything on. I don't have anything on him.
Okay, yeah, he I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling it up here to make sure that I'm caught up and remembering the right people here.
Oh, PK Subban announced retirement today too.
Yes, yeah. Oh, there were 3 or 4. You had Keith Yandel, you had PK Subban, you had Zdeno Chara, you had a lot of guys.
You You were steering us earlier.
But the biggest one was Winnipeg stripping Blake Wheeler of captain.
Oh, I didn't even hear that one.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Because they're Winnipeg and they're weird.
Is this like a Jack Eichel situation? And like, I mean, not like the health reason, but they want to strip him of his captaincy just to make him feel awkward or something.
I gotta read more on it, unfortunately, to know. But
is Reichel really going to be your head center?
It's very possible. Yes, it is. I mean, the Blackhawks are going to be bad this year. I mean, it's just unfortunate.
Taves went out.
Well, Jonathan Taves has. How to put this nicely?
You don't have to.
He has fallen off I mean, Taves is a shell of his former self. He is anymore. Jonathan Taves is a third or fourth line center at best.
You think he needs relived, like, and move to another team to get relived?
I don't know that anybody would. I don't know who would take him at this point because he's still on a fairly large. He and Kane are they signed identical contracts, and they're both. If they're not, I think they're both heading into their final years of their deal this year, and they are expensive. Kane is still worth it. Taves is not. So you'd have to be
10 mil this year.
What's that?
I think Taves was 10 million this year, from what I saw.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, they're about a 10 million. Yeah, it's about a $10 million hit, and yeah, he's nowhere near a $10 million a year man right now in the NHL. I mean, that's Nathan McKinnon money. I mean, you look at what McKinnon's average value on his deal that he just signed is $12 million. You know, Taves isn't that far off of it. And you look at his last few years, his production has been nowhere near what it was.
But Chicago's not the top of the line anymore either, though.
Yeah, I mean, he spent most of last year playing on the third line for the team. So he was sick a couple of years ago, and he's never bounced back from it. It was a very strange illness that he had. My sister's a nurse, and after he finally came forward and announced, hey, this is what I have, I texted it to my sister, and what is this? She said, I have no idea. And when I look it up, all I'm seeing are articles about this hockey player. So it was, so nobody really knows what this is. Yeah, this is new. So he's
kind of like the Lou Gehrig disease, huh?
Yeah, not quite as severe.
Well, you know what I mean. Like no one knew what it was until, a major baseball player had it.
Yeah, exactly. So it wouldn't shock me if Reichel spends most, if not all, of this season up with the big club. He spent 11 games with the team so far, and he's a point a night in Rockford. You know, how much more can you learn from playing at the AHL, in the minors at that point? If you're putting up a point a night over the course of a pretty much a season, 56 games in Rockford last year, he's 57 points. What more do you have to show in the minors? Get him up. It's not like there's somebody blocking him positionally up at the big league club. Yeah, get him up here. Let's see what he can do.
Gavin Hayes.
Oh boy, now you're making me scroll and look. Gavin Hayes. Help me out. Get me started a little bit.
Looked like he was on the prospect team. That's why I was asking.
Okay. Yeah, he's not one of the big top guys. I'm scrolling through Real Muto's list too to remind myself.
All right. Well, since we don't know that much about him, what about
Yeah.
Cole Gutman? What's going on with him? He was the captain of the national championship team. I guess Tampa let him go, and you guys signed him. Any chance we're going to see him up?
Oh, why not? Why not? You got pedigree there. Again, this team. Short answer for any of the prospects for this team. If you think they're ready, yeah, bring them up. Because what have you got to lose this year? This year is going to be bad. This is going to be a bad year. This is going to be a year to learn about what you have. Davidson has inherited a mess. He as most incoming general managers, most guys aren't like the general manager now in Colorado, who was the assistant GM, and now he's been promoted to GM because the GM got promoted to president, and so he gets to step in and just take over a golden situation. Usually, when you get hired in as a general manager from outside, it's because you've got to clean up a mess, and that's what Davidson's inheriting. Some off-ice problems, obviously, but some on-ice problems too, of just an aging roster that's needed to be overhauled and revamped, and so he's starting that teardown process. For any of the prospects this year for the Hawks, if you think they're ready and it's not going to stunt their growth by bringing them to Chicago, bring them to Chicago, even if all it is just for a couple nights or for a week or two to just get their feet wet and fill in for an injury. Bring them up, see what they can do, just so long as you're not going to stunt their growth or overwhelm them. You want to make sure that the guys are mature enough to handle being up there, because it is a different animal going from the minors to the big show.
So what about Paul Ludwinski? He's a big guy. That's all I got. Like 6'3".
That's one of their defensemen, right?
Yes.
6'3". That's you're hoping
big hit guy.
Yeah, you're hoping there for being the shield for the goalie, so you don't have to put as much emphasis on the goalie. The Hawks have never been a big hitting team. It'd be nice to see a little bit more physicality, and hopefully that's something he can bring to the table. But the Hawks historically have not been a very physical team. They have been a team that wants to possess the puck and play keep away with the puck more than be big, bruising, physical guys. So that's hope. It'd be nice to see a little bit of a shift there, because that would be nice to see a little bit more physicality, especially from the defense, because you need to, from time to time, show some physicality, show some grit, if you will, especially on the blue lines, some intimidation there. So yeah, if you can bring some physicality, that's going to be a nice welcome change to the way the Blackhawks do business.
All right, I got 3 guys left, but I want to switch over to Zach real quick.
Absolutely.
So did Stevie Yzerman do this right and let Derek finish out the run of cups and then bring him up to Detroit? Was that the plan?
I think that's the right plan, the right idea, to let him have the same continuity with the season and at least finish the job in Tampa, and then bring him up. I mean, Tampa's definitely.
No, I meant like if Tampa would have won again, would have he still been there and Yzerman let him run, or would he have been trying to get him out?
That's a good question. I mean, they've been the gold standard the last couple of years, so it would make sense why they hired him. But had they won the cup this year, I think he did the right thing grabbing him this year, because Blashill has been around since 15, and we really haven't seen much progress. I think they made the playoffs the very first year he was around, and we haven't made him since. So a change had to be made. I mean, even if you like the guy like I did, but we weren't getting any better. So
I wish this rivalry would rematch again in the same division in about 4 years, because I think that's when both of these teams are going to be high flying again.
Oh yeah,
especially with the prospect pool that Yzerman has, which looks a little bit more in depth than Chicago. That's just my own personal opinion. I really don't know, but after covering or looking over you guys, this is the way I feel.
Sure. I
feel that both prospect pools are good, but I feel Detroit's goes a little bit deeper.
If you think about it, their rebuild started before Chicago's did. So we already have a good, solid young core of young players. We were getting so old that it was like, okay, these guys were great, Lidstrom and Zetterberg and everybody else.
And I want a Red Savage jersey if he ever makes it.
Okay. Nice.
Just because it says Savage on the back.
Right.
Now there's a hockey last name.
Yes.
Right. I'm sure you guys have talked about that on your show. Obviously, I've not listened to any of your shows, but I'm gonna have to get a link for it so I can find it real easily. I will do that. I drive around for work, so I get a chance to listen to my, people's podcasts and radio stations, I guess, as you guys would call it. So,
sure. But yeah, with our solid core of Lucas Raymond and Moritz Cedar and of course Dylan Larkin, I mean, we're on the right path.
And you got a really big right winger, which surprised the living crap out of me. Soderblom.
Right? I'm not that familiar with him, actually.
He might be a prospect still. Maybe next year.
Soderblom. Oh, Elmer Soderblom. Oh, with the Griffins from Sweden?
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. I see him. Okay. Let me see what.
Sorry, Adam. I already did this show, so I kind of know a little bit more.
It's all right. It is A-okay.
Okay.
Sometimes when you get to go back, you already have your questions, and you're like, "Oh, this is easier now."
Well, my page isn't loading, but Soderblom is with the Griffins right now. Left wing, right wing. He looks like he'd be a good prospect.
Have any of you watched the 30 of 30 Fedorov? I did not watch it yet, but I was told to watch it.
No, but there was a rumor on Twitter that he was going to be the next coach, not Lalonde.
He was supposed to be, yes. I'm not. I guess he's having a horrible time right now in the KHL. He lost like 4 games in a row or something. But that was last week. So he was on the firing block for losing 4 games.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's how serious hockey is. I was like, 4 games? What the hell?
Right?
Did you imagine the Blackhawks firing someone after 4 games for just getting blown out? And the blowouts were like 5-1.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like 12 to. Yeah, I was correct. I was like, what? So you guys did some good off-season signings. You got Oli Mata, you got Ben Sherratt. If I butcher the name, sorry. Andrew Kopp, you got Kubalak, and David Perron. What did you think of those signings?
Are you talking to me or Adam? I'm sorry.
Well, I know Adam's team did not sign any of them guys because they're going through a major.
I was gonna say, those are all Red Wings. They're going
through that major rebuild right now. They're not going to be signing Oli Mata and Andrew Kopp, especially.
Good call. Yeah. David Perron especially is going to be he's a big pickup. We got Oscar Sundqvist, I think, at the trade deadline too, from the Blues. So both of those should be key contributors. I think Perron was on the Blues.
I didn't even talk about your goalies.
Yeah, true. Braun was on the Blues Stanley Cup team, which
played on the Penguins too.
Yeah, which reminds me, you guys were talking about Hossa. Well, the modern day version is Patrick Maroon. He went from the Blues to the Lightning to. But I think he succeeded though in most of them though by getting he got a couple cups in a row.
Yes, yeah, he was the opposite Marian Hossa, where he kept bouncing around but kept getting the cup every time.
Yeah.
Like I said, my toughest decision was: do I want the Penguins beside the Flyers or Marian Hossa? It wasn't the Blackhawks. I mean, because we beat Yins in '92. The Penguins did, but that goal by Lemieux where they shot it off of Belfour's pad and it just went right through his stick and he fired it home from the left-hand side like an Ovechkin shot. That was just an unforgettable goal in the Stanley Cups. I mean, you can talk about the Patrick Kane goal where no one knew it went in except for him when he rode by the net and was celebrating. But yeah, that goal never gets talked about, but it was one of the most bang bang plays. Like everything had to work out perfect. And I think Mario is the only one that can possibly do it.
I mean, Mario's a guy to do goals like that. You know, he's one of the wizards of hockey. And yeah, it just got it just right off of Belfour, and the next thing you know, it's in.
And there was only 10 seconds left to go in that third period too. Not to bring up salt in the wound, but
we won 3 in 6 seasons. It took a while, but we made up for it. So
I do like Ville Husso and the Alex. Oh man, Needle.
The goalies. The goalies.
Yeah,
I got you.
I'm just gonna call him Alex.
I got you because I was slaughtering this name at the beginning of the year, and then I heard it enough times on TV, and I'm like, okay, Nedeljkovic.
Okay.
Yeah, Nedeljkovic he's been improving this year, and then Ville Husso was signed in the offseason, and I think it's going to be good to have the competition, and I mean it's going to probably improve both of them.
I can't believe the Blues let him go because Husso really filled in for Bennington down the stretch.
Yeah. That's hard to believe. I'm not really sure
why. For a third-round pick, I believe, right?
It was right,
yeah.
And then for the 73rd pick, which would be like the 4th round, almost 4th. Right?
It's
late third, early 4th.
Right, yeah, right in there, yeah.
I'm trying to do math in my head. I'm not doing too well right now.
3rd round.
Well, I mean, so maybe there's I don't know. Maybe they didn't see as much potential in him. Or maybe he's got some defects, but I guess we'll find out.
He's only played 38 games, but I mean, like, you got Oli Mata around him now. You got Ben Chariot around him. He's got some good building blocks, and you got to remember Mata played with Fleury, so he's going to have some knowledge for him. You know, it's not going to be all bad.
Yeah. Well, and Ben Chariot, I mean, he was with where Canadians, I think.
Who?
Chariot.
Did I butcher his name? What am I calling Chariot?
Chariot. What I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna call him Ben. Does that sound better?
No, I was just saying that in terms of off-season pickups, he's going to be a key contributor too, I believe.
The 5-year, $25 million for Kopp. What'd you think? A bargain after hearing the McKinnon deal. It sounds like a bargain.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly sounds like it.
That's still a lot of money in the hockey salary cap. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money, but at the same time, Kopp's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he should be a good.
I don't know if he'll be Pavel Datsyuk good, but he'll be
right. Good. Maybe Valtteri Filppula will look good.
So back, Marco Kasper, what'd you think of that draft pick, Zach? I'm digging deep here.
Wow. I'd already forgotten about most of the draft.
So you guys probably covered that months ago, huh?
Yeah.
we covered it, and then my brain had to stop. Zach was like, let's keep going, and I was like, I'm on overload. I must stop.
I don't have a 4-year-old, so that helps
Yeah,
me, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Yep.
I'm sorry, Marco who?
Casper, Kasper,
Okay,
two-way center out of Sweden.
I am looking. Oh, here
He's
he
in
is.
a Swedish league. Probably he's playing with Soderblom.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me see here.
I don't think he plays like that, but anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Don't worry, I got 3 questions left for you too, there, Adam.
Yep. Oh, I'm waiting.
Oh wow, yeah, I'm definitely seeing what you're talking about with the European leagues. There's like logos everywhere.
Oh yeah. There's advertisements. Their sweaters are just advertisements sewn together.
Right. Well, he's 6'1", so I mean he's a little bit bigger and could be, again, like you guys were saying, with the Blackhawks prospect, he's like a shield for the goalie. Let's see. Last 5 games, he had an assist, no goals. But I mean, he looks promising.
And then you got Dylan James too, the two-way player out of what was that, Sioux City? American player, so he's probably not going to be too noticed around the world. Not a lot of American players are, but he did have 62 points in 61 games.
Sure.
He was your 40. He was your 40th pick.
Sure. University of North Dakota. Okay. Yeah.
He won Rookie of the Year too. It looks like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that seems like a good pick.
And then you got the Russian Rocket at 52. Oh, they're saying he couldn't be the next. They're saying he could be the next big Russian out of Russia. Deontay Buchelenkov.
There were a couple of those guys in this draft. The Capitals wound up basically getting Ovechkin Jr. in the first round.
I don't know, man. They're saying this kid got like the same build as Ovechkin and the same shot.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be scary.
Right.
But yeah, to Zach's point from earlier, the Red Wings are part of the reason you can look at their prospects and go, oh yeah, I like that prospect list better than the Blackhawks. They're further along. They've got basically a 3-year head start on the Blackhawks as far as tearing down and rebuilding. So yeah, that prospect list definitely is going to look better. The Blackhawks are still figuring out how to go about getting top level prospects, short of, they're still doing a lot of their tear down, never mind their rebuild stuff yet.
So how long before you think Edvin Sion is going to be up here? Or do you think he's going to start the season up here on defense and be at the bottom 6? I always know when he's researching. He gets off camera.
Oh, sorry.
When he's real quick.
And if I cut out here, I apologize. My battery's about to die.
Oh no! Well, that's right, because you did the show from your phone tonight too. So your phone's been pulling triple duty tonight.
That's why you plug that shit in. Put it on the wireless charger.
Yeah, true.
All right, so we got Zach.
Shoot, I'm not seeing him. That's his last.
That's his last name. Yeah, Edvision. Grand Rapids should win the whatever cup they're in this year.
The Calder, the Calder Cup. Yeah, the Griffins.
Yeah,
that's the Calder Cup.
They've won it in years past.
I was gonna say Calder Cup too, and I was like, I don't think it is.
Yep.
Yeah, they won it in I think 13 and 15 maybe.
The Wolves in Chicago are always really good for that one too. They constantly are doing well. Ironically enough, though, they are not the Blackhawks affiliate, even though they're in Chicago. They are not the Blackhawks affiliate.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blackhawks use Rockford, which is just a little further north, still in Illinois. But the Wolves have bounced around. They're on who are they the affiliate for now? They've bounced around a few times who they're the affiliate of. I'd have to look it up now who they're with.
I think they were with Vegas at one point before Vegas got Henderson.
Yeah, they were. They got sold off like 3 times in 5 years who they were affiliated with. But they always put a good product out there. They sell out that arena too. They do a good job of bringing fans in there.
Yeah, I got a friend that goes to their games.
Yeah. But yeah, the Griffins ought to be good too. Zach, I felt like after last year that the Red Wings needed some help defensively. That you've got the young goalie that's looking good, but I felt like their defense needed some work.
Well, Adam, just to let you know, they're back to your favorite team where your guy played, the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh yeah,
that's what it looks like anyway.
Oh yeah, the Wolves. Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
nice.
That's what it looks like. I don't really know, and it looks like they won it last year.
They did. Yep.
So it is Carolina, unless it changed over the offseason.
I don't think this offseason it did. I think this offseason they actually stayed the same. So.
All right.
But yeah, the Red Wings definitely could use some help with on their defense.
Yeah.
And then you got Costa down in the minors. You got Bednar. Is that a Bedner? Albert Johansson and Vero and Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit, yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, it looks like the Grand Rapids minor league team or the minor league team should be pretty good.
Yeah, they look pretty stacked.
And you got two more goalies down there too, from what I was writing, but I don't know where I wrote that.
Shoot, that ought to be trade. That ought to be trade bait.
The down in the goalies.
Yeah, that. Oh man, if I'm the Red Wings, yeah, I'm looking at those guys as trade bait. I like the kid that they have, honestly, for the Red Wings. I like the young kid. So I wouldn't hesitate to move some of those goalies that they've got in the prospects. Get some help now.
Right.
Zach, we will have words if Patrick Kane winds up in Detroit. I have come to a place where I've just forced myself to be at peace that Patrick Kane is not going to get to finish out his career as a Hawk, even though he wants to.
Sure.
We will be having words if he gets traded to Detroit. That's going to be a problem.
Well, maybe he'll just do what Zdeno Chara did and just go to different teams, and then when he retires, he'll just do the 1-day contract with the Blackhawks to retire a Hawk.
That's fine. That's fine. But don't go to Detroit.
Well, look
or
at
Vancouver.
Chara. Look at Chara went to the Islanders, the Capitals.
Yep.
And then he went back and signed a 1-day with the Bruins.
Yeah.
Well, he got drafted by the Islanders originally, from what I was reading. I was like, oh, I had no idea. So
I didn't know that either. I thought he went straight to. I thought he was a. Oh, I don't know.
I mean, well, like same. I mean, because he's made a name for himself with the Bruins. You just assume he's been a Bruin forever.
Yeah, he's just always been a Bruin and nothing but a Bruin.
I know for my birthday, I was in Boston one time.
Yeah.
The Penguins were playing the Bruins, and we went to the wrong bar, and I was doing a shot with Chara standing next to me, and I was like just straight looking up, like, what the fuck?
Nice.
All right, Zach. Who was the skinny 5'0" Red Wing forward that tried to challenge Chara to a fight in the playoffs?
Oh, I knew you were going to bring this up. I don't remember, but yeah, that's
just a scratch.
Such a hilarious story. Like, good luck, buddy.
Oh yeah, I mean his own coach.
He's like 6'9". Like, just stay there.
His own coach was laughing at him. He's like, okay, love the attitude, love the spunk, kid, that you're willing to stand up for your teammate, but not that dog. not that dog. Go pick a fight with somebody else. He'll literally eat you.
Yeah, you're gonna get destroyed. Yeah,
he's going to chop you in half and not think twice about it.
Oh God.
Hold on, I'm trying to look that up now.
Oh, this is like 2013, 2014 playoff, or this is probably 2014 Eastern Conference.
Was it Brandon Smith?
Yes, Brendan Smith, who's all of like 5'6".
Abdulkader.
The period is over, but not the action. Well, Brendan Smith just took a swat at Chara, and Chara's telling him, really? You really want to do that? That wasn't smart from Brendan Smith. And I haven't seen Brendan Smith ever targeted like this, and they've been after him since game one. Now, Smith seems to want to fight Chara.
The referee just came in and pushed him away.
Smith was waiting for the ref.
Like, please help me.
It looks like they got a 10-game. It looks like they got a misconduct for fighting. You should have just let him fight. Because I don't know how much time was left to go in the game, but Chara was skating to the locker room.
Yeah, that was. I think that was the end of the first period for that game. But that's one of those just indelible. When I think of Zdeno Chara, that's one of the first things that pops into my head is that.
I don't remember
fight,
that part.
That fight that wasn't.
That's hilarious.
So he did drop the stick. That might have been why he got a 10-minute. That's why he might have got a fighting major.
Yeah, because he was all set and ready to.
It cut off, so I really don't know the ending.
Yeah. Oh, it was. I mean, they wound up skating to their respective locker rooms, and that was that. But oh yeah, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. So yeah, that's the image of Zdeno Chara that will always stick with me.
All right.
Same.
All right. That was all my questions I had for you, Zach. A good thing I was a little bit prepared. I wasn't really thinking I was gonna do Detroit again. But anyway, different outlook, different person, different thoughts. So it's all good. I love it.
For sure. Hey, guys, I'm gonna peace out. My battery's about to die.
I know, that's why I wanted to get that out of the way
fun.
first. Thank you, Zach. I'll try and give you a follow, and then follow me back. Will be good. And we'll definitely do this again on a full charge, and we'll catch up later on in the season, see how we're doing.
That sounds good. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Zach, take it easy, man.
You too. See you later, Adam. Bye.
Catch it. He's at the Pupless on Twitter, by the way.
The what?
He's at the Pupless, Puplis.
Got it. All right, Adam. So we've been BSing for like an hour almost, and I thank you for coming on, honestly. I know we got tied up on schedules, but, sometimes things happen. I thought you were doing a show. That's why I was like not in a rush. I didn't know you were put on kid duty. Oh,
the plan was originally he and I were going to do the show together, and then just the schedule became what it was. So it's all good.
So to make the team, do you think Ethan Del Mastro makes the team? The gold medal
Right,
kid for Canada.
right now, probably not out of the gate. He probably will start in the minors, but I wouldn't be surprised if he comes up relatively soon. He should be somebody that sees some time this year. Ethan Del Mastro. He's I wouldn't expect him to come up right away. He's only 19. You know, he's still very much a kid. So get him a little bigger, but yeah, he somebody that it would not shock me if at some point this season he comes up, but I'd be a little surprised if it's right out of the gate.
Okay. Now, what about Philip Ruse?
Ruse.
I know their the arena can't wait to get this one.
Oh yeah, we'll be having fun with that. He's I'm pulling a blank. It's late at night and the whole working thing, and my brain is going with me.
I just like the name. I just wanted to say the name.
just wanted to have the name out there. My gut is telling me not out of the gate, but you never know. They might surprise you. They might pull some people up there sooner than you think. But yeah, he'll be a fun one.
My last one is Samuel Savote.
Oh, he's kind of farther down on the prospect list, isn't he? He's more towards the bottom, isn't he?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking, because on the thing I was reading, it said, "Is he ready?" So I'm assuming they're meaning, "Is he ready?"
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more. I'd like to see him in the minors a little bit longer first. You're still a younger kid, still a younger guy. I'd like to see him in the minors for a little while. I don't think he should be spending a lot of time up at United Center, up with the big club this year. I'd like to see he's an energy guy, and sometimes you need a shot of that. I think he needs to learn a little bit about being a professional a little bit first.
Okay.
So give him some time. He'll be fun. He'll be a fun guy once he gets up there, but don't rush it. Don't rush it with him.
Gotcha. Well, 6 Stanley Cups, decent run. Last one was what?
Yeah.
15.
15 was that was probably the most fun of the 3 and 5 years. That was probably the most fun one against the Lightning.
I don't know. Beating Philadelphia was pretty good.
Oh, well.
I mean, you had the goal. They called it the goal of the decade.
And hard to argue with that, because that was the one that finally got the monkey off your back, you know, because it had been since the 60s.
49 years, right?
Yeah, it had been forever. It had been so long since they'd won a cup. The 2010 team, I mean, that's when you're getting into, that's part of what got me into hockey. I was, before 2008, 2009, I was aware of hockey, and I liked Tony Amani as a kid, and I kind of knew about the Blackhawks a little bit, but you went through that stretch of the 90s and the early 2000s where, I mean, nobody was caring about the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks weren't caring about the Blackhawks. And that 2008, Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, Duncan Keith, that was start of what got me into hockey. So that 2010 team.
So all 3 of them might be Hall of Famers. That might be like that.
Oh, they better be.
They should be.
Absolutely.
So will they all retire a Hawk?
Well, I mean, Duncan Keith just retired, and he was an Oiler.
Is he going to come back and sign a one-day contract?
I believe he did retire as an Oiler. I'd have to double check, but I believe he called it a career officially with Edmonton, which was, honestly, I liked that because there was so much behind the scenes stuff with him. He's got he's got a young kid. Young being relative, his son was born during the 2015 Cup run. So his son is now 7 years old. And when the Hawks made it apparent, hey, we're going to be moving on. Thank you for everything you have done for the franchise, and you're always welcome here. There's always going to be a place for you here, but we'd like to move you, and we'd like to see you go compete one more time before you're done. He chose Edmonton because it allowed him to be close to family. He got to actually spend time with his son. He got to be more than just a hockey player.
Play with Adam Larson, play with Connor. Well, Connor McDavid wasn't there yet, I don't think.
Oh, no. McDavid, no, because it was just this past season that he was there. So he was with all the big boys, Draisaitl and McDavid and eventually Evander Kane and all that. He was part of their run. So, it was a great opportunity for him to compete and try and win one more. But also then he got to be so much closer to his family and his son and his parents and all that. So that was really cool to see. Kane has made it known he wants to retire a Hawk. I've got to believe that that's wavering for him now, because anytime he develops any kind of rhythm with a line mate, be it Saad or Panarin or DeBrincat, they just turn around and trade the guy. And at this point, at his stage in his career, and with the amount of time that he has left on his deal with the Hawks, I wouldn't be surprised if he's considering asking for a trade. It's in his court. He's got a no trade clause built into his agreement, so it's totally up to him. If he wants to stay a Hawk, all he has to do is just go out there and play hockey. And of course, he'll be a big draw.
Think he could go get one more and come back and re-sign that one-day contract?
I think he's got plenty of years of hockey left in him. I think he's got more than 1 year left in him. I think he could play another 3 or 4 years, certainly before calling it a career.
I was just asking in general, like, could he, if he left,
would
he be able to come back and retire a Hawk like he wants to?
Unless something drastically changes with his relationship with the front office, he would definitely be somebody that would sign a one-day deal and officially retire a Hawk. Oh yeah, he has loved the franchise, and the organization has loved him, and he's beloved by the fans. So he would absolutely, a one-day deal with the Hawks, he would do that unless something drastic were to change.
Kind of like the Yager incident.
Yeah, you'd have to have something really major, like the organization try to force him to ask for a trade by like bad mouthing him and whispers behind his back and things like it would take something major. It would take a PR disaster of some kind between the two. And let's say, the Hawks have had PR disasters, but it would take something big.
All right. Do we have anything left? So are we thinking they're going to tank the season, like my opening question?
Oh, there's no way they're competing for anything this season. Oh yeah, they are going to be a bottom feeder. And you look at that division too. You've got the reigning champs in Colorado in there. You've got St. Louis. You've got the Wild. You've got some tough teams. The Central has for years been a great division, top to bottom. The Hawks are going to get buried by a lot of teams this season. They're going to be rebuilding. They might be 40, 45 points. That might be a lot to ask for this team. They're gonna be bottom feeders.
20 wins might be too much.
20 wins might be a lot for this team. It more than 15, but lower than 20, somewhere in there.
That's not good.
No,
I
no,
don't know what to say.
no, they're not going to be good this year. They are definitely going to be rebuilding. It's going to be a long season on the West Side this year. Yeah, the
So
Madhouse.
you're saying tickets might be easy to get?
I mean, their sellout streak finally ended last year. Yeah, I'm thinking the secondhand market might be it. It shouldn't be the dark days of 2004, 2005, where like you're able to walk up and buy a ticket that day and have an entire section to yourself. It shouldn't be that bad, but it's going to be, they're going to have some days where they're only got maybe 15, 16,000 fans in there as opposed to the customary 21, 22,000 they had for so often.
Right. All right. Anything else you want to throw in there?
No, that is a lot of fun. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, I'm glad. I wasn't ready for Zach, but I'm glad I had the questions already in. It always helps whenever you're like a little bit prepared, whenever you're not prepared.
Exactly. Always helps just having it in the back of your head.
Yeah. Yeah, Gina was getting ready to go to bed. She texted me back, so we'll catch up with her later.
All right, sounds good.
But I thank you, Adam, for coming on. Maybe we could catch up later on in the year. I don't know. I've been trying to throw ideas out. So if you want to hang out backstage for a minute while we close this out, it's up to you.
All right. I tell you what, we'll catch up, but it'll be another time. I unfortunately got to get myself going.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, man, you have a good one. How do people get a hold of you? One more time.
At Twitter at Adam_Karnick, or you can follow along with Zach and myself at IESR Neutral Zone, IE Sports Radio. At Tuesday nights, 9:00. We talk all things hockey, and we mostly stay on the rails. We have a lot of fun with it.
Well, hey, all right. Well, we will definitely check that out. I'll figure it out how to actually just send me the link so I can click right on it.
Spreaker.com. I'll send it to you.
Make that a little bit easier for me.
Will do. Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, hey, everyone that joined our YouTube channel tonight, Gina's show ran first, mine ran second. Gina always putting out excellent stuff, excellent panel tonight. And actually, we had a good panel tonight too. Went over Hawks, went over the Red Wings, and we are ready to go, guys. Everybody have a good night, and we will talk to you later.